Hello from the Dreamport Discord server. I'm Shadow's Pub, bringing you Pimp Your Post Thursday. On the show today, we'll share posts, meet others, and have some fun. You can share your own posts or someone else's you really like. To take part, drop the PYPT emoji into the show text channel. I'll add you to the list to take a turn sharing posts. When I call on you, add your post link to the text channel. Come on, voice to tell us about it. Keep it brief, like a short commercial for the post. If you can't do voice, it's okay. You can share by text, but text and link must be ready to paste into the text channel when I call in you. You can have more than one turn, but you must use the emoji for each turn. Okay, let's get started. And we have, first up, Alessandra was first on the list.
Now that is a first.
It is.
Okay, let me get that.
My time zone is Eastern, thank you. Oh,
Oh, I ended up putting, I am such a newbie. Would you just look at how sloppy that is? I put my link in a reply to Glory D. I'm so glad that she's here. She said that she's new to Discord, and I love newbies in Discord. Like, if I learn something, I turn around and I want to show somebody what I just learned. I get all excited about it. Like, that's what I do for entertainment. Okay,
okay,
so
Alessandra.
all right, so this. It's not opening up as I would expect into a pretty little card.
Um, it could be because it's debuzz and it's not actually a like a regular front end.
Oh, okay. Well, this is what I'll do. So at least we've got the image because this is all about the visual.
It is because the event that it was about is past. Yeah.
So the host of Pimp Your Post Thursday created this. Our own Shadows Pub has developed an addiction to daily art production in AI. And I
I would
love
not
seeing it.
call it an addiction, thank you very much.
Okay, fine. It's not an addiction. It's a habit. It's a practice. Oh, it's a practice. How about that?
There we
Thank you,
go.
Key Girl. Okay, so the difference was that when we pull, if we go to the front end of Peak D to look at a D buzz, we get a different view.
It
Is that
does
the
appear
deal?
so. You get the preview
Well,
then.
that I learned something. This
So
is
did
so
I.
good. So this image is just so striking to me because what I know about Shadows is she's getting better and better and better at making the prompts so that the AI produces what she has in mind. And I think there's a real art to that.
So the fun part of
Which
this
ha-
particular image was it didn't actually give me exactly what I had in mind, but it was better because I saw all the various parts of the image as representing the hive ecosystem, the
it's
constant
so
growth.
multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
And it starts to look a little bit like at the top, what I interpret is it looks like the back of an eagle's head. And so there's something
Oh,
really
never looked at
organic.
that.
There's something really organic that I see in that very geometric, hard, angular image. And it may be a pyramid, but to the left of the little head, to the left of it looks like a pyramid, or does it look like a hellish horn? Who's to say what shadows actually put into the prompt? So thank you for doing these shadows. I find it quite inspirational, and I actually think that you're inspiring yourself because your creativity is like, whoa.
Well, it's been kind of fun playing with them, and I have been exploring various videos that have given me some ideas on prompts. So what I actually used was surreal diamond shaped block abstract in infographic style without text, and then I dropped in the hive emoji. So that's what we ended up with.
So it wasn't a wordy prompt, it was you put in the two images?
I used I discovered that you can use the emojis that we use in Discord. You can make them part of the prompts, which can really bring back some interesting effects. Midjourney, I have an account with Wandering Moon.
Wow. You were so cool. When I think that, wow, she's maxed out, you go to another level. I
All
don't know
the
how you do this.
I have a whole list of videos still to explore through, so I'm still learning.
Well, thank you for like getting out there and learning things and pushing up your sleeves and just toying with it because it's really that is just remarkable and the colorway of it, it reminds me of the 1980s. I'm thinking white Reeboks.
Ah, white Reeboks
Yep.
and an eagle's head.
And an eagle's head. The
So
back of
that'd
the
be the
eagle's
tail feathers down at the bottom, is it?
those would be tail feathers. Quite organic. It looks like a heart in the middle.
I like your image interpretation. You should write posts interpreting images.
Oh, I should. It maybe we'll talk about my migration later. But the end.
Thank you, Alessandra. And Kara, you're up.
A little shameless, mostly self-promotion to start the day with a story behind the story. So I posted this on a couple of days ago. These were the books that I finished reading in January, and what I realized I should actually add to this as I think about February and beyond is the books that I didn't finish because those are actually maybe a little bit more interesting to think about why I didn't finish something as it is to do what I finished. But if you're looking for a good beach read or a good vacation novel that really doesn't, and you like Hallmark movies or you hate Hallmark movies, you have a strong opinion on Hallmark movies, I would strongly recommend Book Lovers, which is one of the books I highlighted here.
So some of the books you didn't finish. When you say didn't finish, that means that you took that and put it aside and said, "No, I'm not going to read that," or does it mean it
Yeah.
might may carry over into February?
No, the ones that I actually decided, like, okay, I am not going to read this one anymore. And
That
that doesn't
actually,
mean never. It just means like this book just does not fit who I am right now.
yeah. And I see posts kind of similar to that over on um, Medium. Somebody will
Hmm.
post, my 5 best books in January, and then they may follow it up with 5 books not to waste your time on, and we'll give the reasons why. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, I might do that for the February roundup and cover both pieces. So this was
Yeah.
fun to write.
Uh, well, that's half the fun is having fun, isn't it?
That's right.
Thank you, Kara. Um, by the way, if anybody hasn't caught on, there are draws running in the Fluency Fun channel, so don't forget to go up and click on them. And Old School is up. Not sure if he actually hears me call on him, so we'll just tag him. Old School has a wickedly slow connection. There he is. He says a beautiful nature post with a little news about Papillon's charities nonprofit. So this actually is a charity that I support, and I support by entering a draw every week. And I believe the account is called Combination. You send them HBD. Yeah, You send them HBD, and it's one HBD per draw. So I usually send them four, which puts me in four times each week. And the biggest portion of it goes to this charity, which is kind of cool. That's a nice image he's got there. So what I did was I set up a recurring send. So I think I set it up for a year, and every week on Saturday it just goes to them, and I think the draw is done on Saturday night.
That's an excellent use of the recurring transfer feature.
Yeah, I don't have to stop and think about it. It just gets done, and it doesn't give me a notice at the end that it's running out, which is a bit of a nuisance. But I just kind of keep an eye that if it hasn't gone out, it's oh, I need to renew that. And Old School says he's a great photographer and writer. He certainly is. I love that image he's got there. Okay, G-Lux, you're up. This is a post by Princess Dara on Hive Learners. She talks about her journey as a hairstylist and how she moved from an amateur to getting better. So, something else I came across this week about Hive Learners is they are creating a DApp that people will be able to sell courses on and take courses on, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, D-Learn. So, do we have an expected release date on that? Yeah, I kind of got the impression that they didn't actually have a date on it as yet when I read the article, but I thought that's one worth keeping an eye on. That's kind of like bringing Skillshare or Udemy to the blockchain. An excellent idea. Good. I really think we're going to see some even more cool things coming out over the next year or so. And Wandering Moon, you're up. And now's a good time to drop some emojis because Wandering Moon's last on the list.
Pardon the noise in the background. That's my furnace.
Oh, I didn't
This
even
is
hear it.
oh, okay. This is a post from Jay Fuji. He has been writing a story, and he's expecting it to take at least till the end of the year. I have not read this one, but I have been reading up on the story, and the imagery is amazing. It is really worth the read.
I've read a few of the episodes, but I haven't got to them all. I, what I really want to do is go back and start at the beginning and go through each one of them.
Yeah, it took me about a day to catch up, and that was like I read like 20 in one day, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also having a contest, which that post was done 8 days ago. He's looking to refresh his reader list. If you read that and you're interested and you like what you read, you just message him, leave a message at the end of one of the posts, more likely the most recent one, and tell him that you want to be added to the reader list.
Oh,
He
nice.
has contests. He has contests going on from time to time as well,
Yeah,
and it's
I've
mainly
caught one or
all
two of
to
them.
promote. I'm sorry. It's mainly to promote his story and get people interested in reading it.
it's a really good approach he's taking because he's basically developing a following, and if he goes to the point of actually publishing a book, he will have a following of readers.
He's actually got two other stories that he links into the bottom of the post.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, if you go over onto Web 2 and you look at some of the people that are doing self-publishing, one of the big things they talk about is developing a, a friends list, so to speak, of people that will support your reading. But I think this is actually a better approach because you can get feedback and input and earn a little bit as you go as you're developing the book. So,
yes, and that's part of the post that he posted 8 days ago was that he's looking for reviewers. He doesn't care whether they give him a bad review or a good review. He just wants honest reviewers, and he's looking for a specific word count for that.
oh, so that he doesn't want people to pop in and go, yeah, good story, give me the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, or good story, follow me. That's the ever popular one. Okay. Yeah, he does a good job. And we have Old School back. So I'm currently working my way through the draft script for the Hive movie. I think it's actually looking pretty good.
I thought you were reading that. That's what you're saying from the first person, is that things are really moving along?
Yep,
Whoa.
I would say so. Okay, and Old School says a little slice of life in a small village in Cambodia. Ooh, lots of images. I don't think I've seen this writer before. Is he familiar to you, Kitty Girl? Maybe Kitty Girl's busy.
Oh, I was off looking for a post to share.
Oh,
Who is this? Who is this?
um, Srey,
Oh,
Sreypov.
Srapov. Yeah, actually, yeah, she's one of the ones I follow. I follow her and her husband Justin Park, and read their updates all the time with great relish. Yeah, they're sharing about life in Cambodia. Uh, Justin Park was born and raised in the U.S., had wanderlust, and traveled to different countries. Once he ended up in Cambodia, he kind of liked it there. The cost of living was much less. He fell in love with Shrapov here. Um, and actually, the word Srey, Srey, in the Khmer language is a kind of a designation for a female. Her name is Pav, P-O-V.
Ah,
But yeah, Srey Pav means the lady Pav or whatever, something like that. Um, yeah, she's really interesting. She doesn't have a real big command of the English language, but she does express herself rather well despite that. And I love their posts, learning about life in Cambodia and stuff. It's really,
so I'm familiar with Justin, but this is the first time I've encountered his wife. Interesting.
yeah, she blogs regularly too. Um,
I would say
actually, Justin,
I would say so. Her reputation is 75.
yeah, Justin has kind of backed off of blogging a little bit lately just because he's been so darn busy. So Pav is actually posting more than Justin, but it used to be the other way around.
Kind of picking it up to keep it rolling. Which is a good idea.
And then they've got two daughters, both of whom have their own Hive accounts, and they post as well. But the older daughter posts a little bit more, the younger daughter rarely. But yeah, it's all interesting to me.
Yeah, keep it in the family. It's a good way to roll. Okay. Thank you, Old School. And Kara, you're up.
Well, I recommend Shadow's episode of her podcast this this week or today. Are you doing it weekly or daily? I guess I haven't figured that out yet.
Weekly. It comes out on
Weekly. That's what I
Thursdays.
thought. I thought it was weekly. It was
Yeah,
very, very good.
I
Uh,
I produce it for Thursday so that once I've done PYPT, I don't have to worry about having to post that because I'm
so
trying to
that's
do the 365 posting.
super smart. I love it. Well, this is a really good article and video with a podcast by Jennifer Navarrete on podcasting. This is the first of two, and I'm just really enjoying seeing all these other forms of media growing on Hive. I don't know how much they existed before, since I'm still not even a year into Hive, coming up on that anniversary. But it's fun to see so many other people exploring all these different mediums.
So I'd say prior to NADPOD Pomo, we very rarely saw podcasts actually showing up on people's blogs. I think they were leaving them mostly on Oriole, but people started enjoying them being posted to blogs. So that now they're you can go either way. You can leave it just sitting on Oriole, or you can have it post to your blog. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are having it post to their blog now.
Sense, and it does help you post on a day that you might not otherwise do so. So I like that option too. But
Yeah.
this is a good interview.
Actually, that's an interesting thought. I wonder if it's posting on Oriole only, if it would have counted as a post. Logically, it would have.
I would think so, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think it'd get as much traffic if it's just sitting on Oriole. Oriole's got some interesting stuff coming this year. I'm waiting to see when they start putting their updates out. One of the things that they're adding this year is that you will be able to monetize your podcast more so because you'll be able to turn it into an NFT. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Which I still have no understanding of whatsoever. It's on my to learn list.
Basically boils down to making your product, whether it's a podcast or a post or whatever, into something that is sold as a standalone. I think we're going to see NFTs are going to move on from artwork and into other types of smart contracts.
I would never have thought about turning a podcast into an NFT. What an
Yeah.
interesting concept.
It is because especially if you instead of monetizing every one of them, you did something special, like you managed to interview somebody that is well known, and you want to monetize the access to it. That would be the time to do it. So just every once in a while, rather than a constant selling. That's my view on it, anyways. I think we're going to see some real interesting stuff coming out in next year or two. We've got Oriole is revamping. I think the Three Speed network is getting that much closer to full release. I laughed yesterday. I was on the Jennifer's Web3 101 that she does on Twitter Spaces on Wednesday, and she was talking about PeerTube and how people are saying that it's the greatest thing and that she needs to be part of it. And she was looking up what it was, and I took a look and I went, Jennifer, I think Hive has already got this. It's called Speak Network. So we're going to talk to the guys behind it. And Old School says, could this be a way to have your heater pay part of your heating bill? Austrian startup produces a smart heater that mines Bitcoin. Hmm. My only question there would be, will it put out, be using more power than makes it worthwhile? That'll be interesting to see. This has an English version, right? Yes, it does. And I think I managed to miss adding old school to the previous post. And Kitty Girl, you are up. Yeah, give him a good hint.
Oh, I thought there was one other person before me. Hang on.
Yeah, old school. He just went. Unless I missed somebody. No, Kara, then old school.
Okay, this is a post by Protein Creator. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it. It's one of these thoughtful, musing type posts. She mentions legacy and how sometimes we are a little bit afraid to live up to a legacy because of fear of being judged, and how being a storyteller and creating your own narrative is important. I think it's a really cool post. It's almost like a stream of consciousness where she just sat down and this flowed from her, and I thought it was very upbeat and inspirational and definitely worth a read.
Those can be really interesting posts because you're getting the perspective of the person. Nice work. I like her profile. She calls herself a very confused millennial. Well, if that doesn't make you notice, I don't know what would.
Yeah, she's definitely got an interesting twist about her.
I take it she has a sense of humor to go along with it. And G-Lox has won the 1 HBI. Okay, looks like Old School has another one that he's wanting to share. He's on a roll today. And now's a good time to drop emojis too, folks. Maybe he had another one. There he is. Ah, he's gonna do one of his own. Part 2 of my dream word of the week entry. Ah, using the word invisible. I didn't get into that one. If anyone isn't familiar with Old School's work, he writes some pretty decent stuff. So it's always good idea to go and have a look at it. Okay. Anybody else got anything that they would like to share? We're a quiet group
I
today.
cannot believe how shy everyone is being this morning. I mean, here, Chris UK, surely you've got a post you can share. Graybeard, you should be able to share a new member's post that Hey Have You Met has curated. And Jack Dub, you've not shared anything yet. Come on, come on.
Thank you, kitty girl. Seska, you're up. Jack's typing there. Okay, Seska, you're up. He's doing the morning chores. Is
And
that
Wandering Moon, you mentioned your son making videos on Three Speak. If they're on Three Speak, they've turned into Hive posts, right? You could share one of those.
Seska? Are you with us? Are you having network issues? Well, that would suck for her if she's decided to share and is having network issues. Ah, there she's typing. Okay, it's your turn. There we go.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So, this post is written by Nkem, and in this post, she sort of narrated how she got help from a friend, somebody she didn't believe will actually go extreme miles for her in helping her in doing so many things that she couldn't do at the present stage of her pregnancy. And she sort of like you know she's happy she got somebody like that, somebody that can that can stand out and help her. She didn't believe that we have people that are nice in this world. Everybody's just more like selfish, all that kind of thing. So you guys should just check it out. I'll be all.
Kindness is a really good thing to encourage because it benefits everybody. And for some reason, there are times when people forget that. There's a quote I came across the other day that I kind of liked.
Oh, that is a lovely quote. I like that.
And there was another one by Margaret Atwood. Let me find that one. I like this one as well because it feeds into how kindness is good for everybody. Because one person alone is not a full person. We exist in relation to others. So when we do kindness to others, we're doing kindness to each other. It's a reciprocal thing whether people realize it or not. Kara, have you ever read the book The Four Agreements? Or has anybody else?
I haven't. It's been on my list to read for a long time, but I haven't read it yet.
I read it in December. It's a very interesting book. And I like the concept that when you send something out to another person, that it reflects back to you. So if you're being mean to somebody, you're actually being mean to yourself. But if you're being kind to somebody, you're being kind to yourself.
I just typed something very similar to that to a friend who's messaging me on another platform. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I would say it's a book that's well worth reading.
I will move it up in my list.
There you go. It'll be interesting to see if it gets into your read list or not read.
Exactly.
Okay, anybody else got anything they'd like to add in here today? There we go, Kitty Girl. Go for it.
I don't know where Brendan is today, but she has a post that I read the other day that was quite entertaining. Um, Her writing usually is very entertaining. This is a story that she submitted to the Spill the Beans contest in Cinnamon Cup Coffee. Um, it's a fictional story, The Coffee Crusher, and I thought it's not a very long read, but it's very delightful, and I think most of us would kind of um, relate to at least part of the story, if not all of it. It's really a good thing to check out.
I think she used Snook as her model for her mother. It says, Lee, I'm sorry, dear, but I broke your kitchen doohickey. Accidentally bought whole beans at the store. So though I'd borrowed your coffee bean crusher, the damn thing jammed, and I'll bring a replacement by tomorrow afternoon. I think Snook is the model for that particular character. The
I think so
doohickey.
too. I caught that when she used the word doohickey. Yes.
It definitely brings a good vibe into a story.
Yeah, if anybody has just got extra time they don't know what to do with, go to Grendan's blog and read some of her other writings. She's very engaging and entertaining in her work.
She does have an interesting twist on how she approaches things.
Yeah, she tells such a good story. It's awesome.
We have some really excellent writers. Yes, Kitty Girl, you have won the 3 HBI.
Oh, thank you for the prize.
We really do have some excellent writers on the platform.
Yourself included, Miss Shadows.
I was playing around with Like2 last weekend. Has anybody used that?
That's the Instagram like that for the blockchain. I've looked at it, but I've
Yeah.
not actually used it per se.
Well, Saturday being Catterday, I did a bunch of AI images using cats. So I used it for that. And then Sunday, I decided to play around generating some coloring pages because I'm still refining that approach. And I used it to publish those. Chris says he's a big fan of Like 2. It's this Apex for Hive. Chris, do you happen to know who the developer is on Like 2? That made him think.
I looked it up once and found the person, but I forget who it was.
Is it Sergio Mendez?
I don't know. But they
I have to look
they
it.
have their own account on Twitter, don't they? Because we wanted to get them onto Hive Space.
Oh, right. It takes me a minute to connect the dots sometimes, y'all.
Let me just check. I've got to check a messenger message. I have a cell. Oh, um, I got somebody picking me up a few groceries today, and I just realized they had sent me a couple messages. Okay, dealt with that. Wandering Moon, go for it. Yes, Kara, if you go to hive.io, there is a link to the ecosystem, and there's also a link from the ecosystem to a page where people can register the various dApps on Hive. Not all of them are there because not everybody registers them, but it'd be really great if they would.
There's also another site, hiveprojects.io, where developers can register their stuff too. And if they put them on both, it's more the better.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's so much coming out on Hive right now that it'd be really good to have, whether it's 2 pages or 3 pages that are registering them. At least there's a place to go and explore.
Okay, well, Shadows, that link I just dropped is the
Yes.
video my son did 2 days ago.
Ooh.
I just uploaded one a few minutes ago, but it's going to take a couple of extra minutes to actually post. I couldn't find I don't know, is 3Speak a community or does it have its own front end as well?
It has its own front end, and I think it does have a community.
Yes, they have a community page, a Discord, and a front end, so they've got it all.
Yeah. So the graphics in there, has he done that as in AI, or did he draw them, or where'd he get them?
The puppet itself is an app. It's called Puppet Time,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still learning it. He knows how to move the hands, but he can't move the entire puppet all at once. I told him, I was like, make the puppet dance. He goes, I can't move the arms and the legs at once, Mom. I was like, okay,
Well, gotta take the
whatever.
baby steps to get there.
I've also told him, I was like, look, if you need backgrounds, I can create you backgrounds. The one for 2 days ago, that's a background I created in Stable Diffusion through Auspit's server.
That's something I haven't been playing around with. I got the bot in my own server. I got so focused on learning Midjourney, I hadn't thought about Osbits.
Actually, Ospit's uh, bot includes Midjourney with Stable Diffusion.
He's got both on there now.
Yes,
So do you still have to have the Midjourney account in order to be able to use it?
I think so because um, I tried to use Midjourney in his server, and
Mm-hmm.
it told me I had to have an account. So I was like, okay, whatever. I don't remember if I set it up or not.
Oh, okay. So his server has both Midjourney and Stable Diffusion.
His art bot includes both of those.
Ah,
But you still have to have the I believe you still have to have the Midjourney account in order to use the Midjourney part of the bot.
yeah. They've got a. They're pretty sophisticated in how they pick it up.
Yeah, and he's also included Chat GPT in this, not in the art bot, but he has his own little Chat GPT bot.
Oh, I've been looking for one of them.
So his art bot is called Artie,
I have
and
that.
his Chat GPT bot is called Wise Guy, I think.
Wise guy. Okay, I need to check out his Discord today. So ChatGPT is bringing out a paid tier. Because if you've noticed, if you go to use ChatGPT, you'll find that you have to do a lot of waiting around because of the amount of usage on their servers. So they'll keep a free tier, but they're bringing out a paid one now that's going to be $20 a month. It's only available to the US customers at the moment, but you can go on a waiting list if you're in other parts of the world. So it gives
Yeah,
you,
I've heard about that.
well, they only brought it out the other day.
I think they may have been talking about it because I'd heard something about that before.
The rumor has been floating around, and I had been looking around and going, okay, where is it? And finally, I just joined their Discord, and the announcement came out the other day, and I thought, okay, so the previous was rumor, it's now fact.
Uh, if all else fails and I can't use Chat GPT anymore, there's always you you.com,
They
which
have
is
stated that they are going to keep a free tier.
okay.
So if some people are moving over to the paid tier in order to get the instant access and the faster access, that will take some of the strain off of what's going on in the free tier as well.
Just don't want to lose the ability to have my saved conversations.
Yes. It actually does a pretty good job of coming up with stuff. Where's that from? Oh, you. Cool. I'll have to check that one out. I've been using it on occasion to come up with titles and subtitles for some of the journals I've been developing. Boy, they come up with better suggestions than I have. Lunch got lunchy. Was it really good lunch? How you doing, Jordy? Okay, is anybody else got anything they'd like to share? I'll let Jordy catch his breath, and I'm sure he's got something. Using it to help rephrase my sentences with better wording. So, I was in a room over on Clubhouse this morning, and they were talking about Google and the Google algorithms. So one thing you might want to be aware of is that Google is kind of moving towards recognizing when AI has been used, and if you're publishing AI generated content and there's not enough human content in it, you're going to get penalized. So I also happened to get wind of a little utility This here apparently is very good at um, detecting AI. So if you take AI and do some writing of your own, put it back through that to see how much you've been able to eliminate the AI markers. The fellow that shared this apparently is a SEO specialist, and he says that about 90% of the time it's able to detect one way or the other. My pleasure. I told him I would. I think AI is going to be a great tool, but I think it's something that we need to treat as a tool, not as the answer. Okay, has anybody else got anything else they'd like to share?
Huh?
Quiet group here this morning. Kara, you have you have won the 5
Yeah.
HBI.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. Looks as though we've run the list today. So we'll close out the recording. You've been listening to Shadows Pub host Pimp Your Post Thursday. Thank you for joining us on PYPT and join us next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Till then, keep on creating, and it's all about community. And oh, yeah, bye, Wilma. And recording